girls, back to work. There's nothing more to see. Back up, folks, please. We don't want anybody getting hurt.
Mike. Oh, hiya, Duke. I'm sorry I'm late. Nicky had some errands to do. I couldn't find a cab.
Mike, we got about 100,000 in damages. Almost an entire floor of the old wing. Fortunately, a fire door kept the flames from spreading. But the third patient died about 20 minutes ago.
Oh. Who's handling it for the arson squad?
Ed Palucci.
Oh, yeah, good, good. Which way?
Straight ahead.
Hello, Mike.
Oh, hi, Ed. What have we got?
Well, we pinned the fire to a linen closet in the patient's room. I can't let you in yet. Boys are still sifting through.
Watch it, Mike. Burnt planks. What a mess. Any signs of arson, Ed?
Nope. I'd give odds it was spontaneous combustion. Can't beat the heat. Especially in a closet filled with old files and hospital records.
I thought you said it was a linen closet.
Well, I guess they've been having a space problem. Just opened the new wing. There were 4 beds crammed into this bedroom.
How'd the fire marshal feel about that?
Well, it's listed as a 4-bed ward. It's acceptable. Has fire exits, alarms, hoses. No problem.
Except space. Ed, I'd like to talk to the nurse who was on duty last night.
Miss Brandon? She's on the 3rd floor. She's pretty badly burned.
Oh, Mr. Bates. Can you spare a minute?
Not even a half. I've got 12 more patients to move around, and the day isn't getting any younger.
Excuse me. Mr. Bates, we have to talk.
Later. Should I know him?
This is a private hospital, Mike. He owns the place. Lock, stock, and fire insurance.
Ed, what time did the alarm go off?
Didn't. Station 34 got a phone call at 2:57.
Well, doesn't this floor have a fire alarm?
20 feet away from me, Mike.
Why wouldn't the nurse call?
The nurse didn't call. Someone else reported the fire.
I don't have any room for any more patients. Why don't you try the general hospital?
Now, Mr. Longstreet. You've got 2 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bates. I tell you, I'm curious about the contents of that linen closet in room 17. Is it customary to store medical files in a place where patients might get their hands on them?
Well, in the first place, those files are outdated. In the second place, when you're short of space, you make do. That new wing was barely open for business. And in the third place, I think I know just where you're going.
Where's that?
You make my own closet a fire hazard, and maybe your company won't have to pay the insurance.
Was it a fire hazard?
If there was any negligence involved, it wasn't my fault. My staff were well aware of fire hazards. The hearing will verify that.
But 3 people died.
You'll have to talk to Miss Brandon about that.
Are you saying she was negligent?
I'm saying that it certainly looks that way. Yes. All right. You got 2 minutes. Try to get him.
All right, just one more question. Mr. Bates, there were 4 beds in room 17. 3 patients died. What happened to the 4th patient?
Oh, that was Mr. Zadek. He wasn't in the room at the time of the fire.
At 3 in the morning?
Well, gotta get back to work. But you don't say, Andy, you like or you don't like. I like. Take care now. Can I help you?
Yes, thank you. I'm looking for Mr. Zadok.
Yes, that's me.
Mr. Zadok, my name's Longstreet. I wonder if I could ask you some questions.
Questions?
Yes, about the fire. I'm an insurance investigator.
Suddenly I become a popular man.
Arnold, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, Andy. You're a good boy. That's my friend, Andrew Woodman. His uncle died in that fire. Terrible thing.
Yes, but you survived.
Yes. This, my violin, is what saved my life. I couldn't sleep with the heat, so I took my violin and I went to the solarium and I played Borodin. Borodin with strength, with volume. And then I heard the sirens. Like the air raid wailing in Warsaw. And I saw the fire engines from the window. I felt like Nero.
Excuse me?
Yes, can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for Miss Brandon's room.
Room 312. I'm sorry. There's a corridor to your left. You make an immediate right, and it's the first door to your left.
First door on the left, 312. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Don't touch me!
Just gonna take care of those burns.
Leave me alone!
All right, now take it easy now. We're
Don't
here to help
touch
you.
me!
We're here to help you.
No, don't!
Just take it easy now.
Get out of here! No! No! No!
That's all right. We're just gonna take care of those burns. It's all right now. Take it easy. It's gonna be okay. Good girl. Easy now. Take it easy. That's all right. Atta girl. Take it easy. You're all right. Atta girl. Take it easy. You're all right.
Doctor?
Yes.
I wonder if I could talk to you.
Just a minute. Are you a relative?
No, I'm an insurance investigator.
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping there was a relative around someplace.
You mean there isn't one?
Well, none that she wants to talk about.
How badly was she burned?
Well, she's going to have some minor scars from the burns. I wish I could say the same about her mind. There's a lot of guilt there.
Guilt?
Mm-hmm. She feels she murdered 3 people.
Well, the heat wave is over.
Then why are my keys melting?
Actually, it won't be over until tomorrow.
Terrific.
May I?
Oh, sure. It's just one of Mike's reports. Go ahead.
There were 7 witnesses. How'd I do?
3 cars were sent by rail.
Oh,
Oh, hang in there. You're improving.
thanks. Is he around?
No, he's visiting the nurse.
Again? I thought he's working for me.
He is.
What does he do there?
I guess he just waits for her to say something.
Stone?
Mike, do you want out of this case?
No.
It's becoming a heavy trip for you, isn't it?
That's a flight of fancy. I see myself back in a hospital room again. Same fear, same anger, same guilt. Only this time I'm on the other side of the room. But the pain hasn't diminished.
Well, somehow I think that makes you a fortunate man. Mike, I've got an insurance company on my back. They commiserate with that girl, but they want to know one thing. Do they or don't they pay the insurance claim?
Duke, a possible criminal negligence is not a possible arson. I don't have anything but a possible negligence. That girl's all I've got.
That's not what Palucci says.
It was identified as belonging to the hospital. It's found in the linen closet in fragments. There were traces of picric acid on them.
Any reasonable excuse for it being there?
No.
Any fingerprints?
Some smudges. No make yet. How much does Bates stand to collect on this?
Almost 100,000.
I hope he makes it easy for us. You want to work together or independently?
Oh, well, let's work together. Independently.
Took me 10 years to raise the money to renovate this place. The old wing was my last spike. Do you think I'd risk the entire place to a fire just to nail down one last spike?
Well, Mr. Bates, nobody's accusing you of anything.
Now, Mr. Longstreet, come on. First the police, now you. On the night of the fire, I was at a fundraising party, and the 30 people that were there will testify to that.
Well, then you have nothing to worry about, do you?
Yes, but I'm still a suspect. My grandfather started this hospital in 1934, and my father was one of the best surgeons in the state, but he had no taste for administration. But I do. And I have carried this hospital into the 20th century on my back. And along comes an incompetent and negligent nurse, and here I am, picking up the pieces. So don't talk to me, Mr. Longstreet. I am just one of the victims. Why don't you talk to the guilty?
Did you send the flowers?
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm a friend.
Why?
Because I was once inside those bandages.
My staff were well aware of fire hazards.
She feels she murdered 3 people.
I see myself back in a hospital room again.
Kelly? Oh, one of the most dedicated nurses I've ever worked with. No family, you know, came through the orphanage route, which is probably why she adopted all of her patients. They loved her.
Miss Bates called her incompetent.
Well, Mr. Bates is fair boss, but he'd call Florence Nightingale incompetent if she dropped her lamb.
Is that what happened to Kelly?
What does she say?
Well, she's suffering from a large dose of guilt. She won't talk.
She's been having her problems the last couple of months. How's been affecting her work?
What kind of problems? Money? Health?
I don't know. Maybe love.
She have a boyfriend?
If she has, he's been a well-kept secret. Not seen, not heard, not discussed.
Well, then what makes you think she was having love problems?
Oh, because I've had more than my share. You know, takes one to know one.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Emery, one more thing. Was Mr. Zadek in the habit of using the old solarium in the middle of the night?
Arnold? Oh. Yeah, anytime you want it. Now the recreation room. We love his music.
I mean, didn't it bother the other patients?
Oh, well, when the door's closed, you can't hear anything out here. During the day, we like to keep it open. And now that old McCabe is gone, why, we have no complaints.
McCabe?
Lester McCabe, one of the fire victims. A terrible way to remember somebody by his offensiveness. That was old Lester.
You mean he and Mr. Zadek, they didn't get along?
Oh, like spicy foods and an ulcer.
Stryker and Woodman, they understood the music. But McCabe, he was a Philistine. To him, a violin was a fiddle, a thing you use to dance or get drunk, an excuse to enjoy. But with me, music is no excuse. It is a reason. It is a reason to live. You ask me how we got along. I tell you, Mr. Longstreet, we did not.
No clear fingerprints. I just spoke with Palucci. There's something else, Mike. No ignition device. They calculated the jar contained a mixture of chemicals with a picric acid base that would ignite at a relatively high temperature.
Like maybe during a heat wave, huh?
That's some natural ignition device.
It's also some very unnatural gamble for someone intending to start a fire. You had no assurance the fire would start. Terror might have been discovered. Temperature might have dropped.
Mike, I want to know why the nurse didn't sound the alarm.
I don't know.
You haven't questioned her, have you?
Plenty of time for that.
The time is now.
There's too much pain there now, Duke.
For whom?
Hi.
Hi, Nicky.
Good news or bad?
Well, a little bit of both. First, the bad news.
No. I want to hear the good news first. I need a little boost.
Oh, okay. Well, I found out that Daniel Bates has a perfectly clean slate, and the only thing that anyone can find fault with is his overzealous nature in canvassing for funds.
That's it? Our prime suspect gets whitewashed, and that's good news? Terrific, kid. What's the bad news?
Your car's getting a parking ticket.
Thanks a lot.
Well, you asked for the good news first.
Talk to her, Mike.
All right, Nicky, you wanna do some more digging?
Who?
I want you to check out Arnold Zadek. Kelly?
Yes?
Has Lieutenant Palucci been here to see you?
This afternoon.
Well, then you know what's going on.
Yes. I know that you're an insurance investigator.
That's my job, Kelly. That's not who I am.
Your friend.
Well, I'd like to be.
Ask your questions.
Did you see Mr. Bates go into room 17 the day of the fire?
No.
Arnold Zadek?
You live there.
Well, did you see him carry anything with him into the room?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Kelly, it does matter. That fire was deliberately set. There's no way you could have prevented it.
I wasn't at my desk.
Where were you?
If I had been at my desk, my patients might still be alive.
All right, 3 people died in that fire. Their lives are over. Well, yours will be, too, if you don't stop carrying them around as unfinished business. Finish it.
Mike?
Nicky?
I thought you might like a lift home.
Ah, yes, thanks.
You, wanted to know about Arnold Zadek. It's not good. He has leukemia. Doctors don't give him much of a chance. He's been here in the hospital for 3 months. Before that, he worked as a building superintendent. Ever since he came to the States, he hasn't been able to pursue his regular profession. In Poland, he was a chemical engineer.
Why do some
You told me yourself Zadek had a motive. I said that he and one of his roommates didn't get along. You mean that's not a motive? Duke, a man about to die a natural death, hating another man enough to kill? Well, since when are dying and killing mutually exclusive? Mike, Zadek did have a motive. He had the knowledge of chemistry to make the incendiary bomb, and he had the opportunity to go out, to get the chemicals, and to steal the porcelain jar.
Hello? It's Lieutenant Palucci. Are you in?
No. All right. Hello, Ed.
We've hit dead ends all the way. What's happening with you?
Well, nothing, Ed. I've hit the same dead ends. I'll call you when I have something positive. Yeah, let's stay in touch.
I think that was a mistake.
Duke, I want more time. I don't like the motive, and the method bothers me even more. All right, so Zadek knew chemistry, but that incendiary bomb, I mean, that's absurd. There's no ignition device.
That means he doesn't know when or if the fire would start.
Duke, Zadek lived and slept in that very same room. Now, how would he know when not to be there? Doesn't make any sense.
You told me he was going to die. Now, maybe he didn't care about going up in flames. Maybe his being in the solarium playing his violin was an accident. Maybe he survived unintentionally. All I know is you were withholding information from the arson squad, and they are not going to like it when they find out.
Well, that's my problem.
Well, I've got things to do. I'll see you. Goodbye, Nicky.
Night, Duke.
Duke. I'm sorry you're angry.
We're good friends. I'll get over it.
Good day, Mr. Longstreet.
Mr. Zadek?
Andy and me, we just come back from burying his uncle.
I'm sorry.
Well, I have to get going.
Yes, Andy, you go.
Okay.
Two people were at the funeral, him and me. That's what the old man had to show for 72 years on this earth. How desperately he held on to life. But then he'd already been dead for 3 years. A stroke did that. The fire only gave a reason to bury him. If I sound bitter, Mr. Longstreet, it's because funerals are tomorrow. And I do not like looking into the future. Are you here by accident?
I was waiting for you.
More questions?
That fire was no accident.
I know. This place is like the United Nations. Each person tells one other person the secret of the day, and pretty soon...
We're taking someone with a knowledge of chemistry to make that incendiary bomb.
Then you know that I was once a chemical engineer.
Yes.
Do you think I could have started this fire?
I don't want to think so.
Longstreet.
Hello, Mrs. Kay.
I left a chicken in the oven and an unhappy man in the courtyard.
Who?
Mr. Palucci.
Oh.
Nicky and Mr. Page are with him, and, they don't look too happy either.
All right, thanks, Mrs. Kay.
Don't forget to take that chicken out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mike, you're in trouble with me.
Oh, hello there, Ed. Hey, thanks. Come on,
How do you think I feel when you tell me over the phone you've got no leads? Then one of my men stumbles onto the fact that you're Miss Bell.
I am my own Miss Bell.
That your Miss Bell is out digging up information on Arnold Zadig. Is that the kind of cooperation I should expect from you?
Ed, the reason he didn't say anything was because he had a hunch that didn't go anywhere.
Motive, opportunity, and a knowledge of chemical combustion are hardly dead ends.
Oh, come on now, Ed. All that evidence is circumstantial, and you know it.
What's this? Smell it.
Picric acid.
We searched Zadik's room. It was hidden in a dresser drawer. I'm booking him on suspicion of murder and arson.
Any fingerprints on this?
Wiped clean.
You gonna take him downtown?
You know the procedures.
The jar could have been planted.
That's for the jury to decide.
Ed, that man's a terminal patient. I can understand you being mad at me, but... Man, I've got a hunch about Zadig, and I'm asking you as a personal favor not to take him downtown.
I can't do that.
Ed, just don't book him. Give me some time.
For what? A hunch? Come on, Mike. Suppose I leave him alone and he starts another fire.
Just put him under surveillance.
That'll cost me men I can't spare. Who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers?
I'll pay for it. I'll put some investigators on him around the clock.
All right, Duke. I'll hold off for 24 hours. You guys are ridiculous.
Thanks, Duke. Mike, tell me what your hunch is. I don't have one. Then you better get one in a hurry. Kelly?
I'm over at the window.
Are you planning to jump?
No.
Well, that's a beginning then, isn't it? The police are going to arrest Arnold Zadig for starting the fire.
Arnold, he
It's
couldn't.
ironic, isn't it? You want to be accused of the crime, nobody pays attention. He wants to be absolved of the crime, and nobody pays attention.
You're paying attention. I don't know if I like it.
Well, then dislike, Kelly. That's better than indifference. I'd like to believe that Arnold is innocent. I want to know everything that went on that night, Kelly. So let's start off by where you were. Come on, Kelly, get off this recrimination bit, will you? If you want to feel guilty, let it out. Maybe I can point an accusing finger at you and you can really wallow in it. Now, where were you when the fire broke out?
I was downstairs at the parking lot entrance. I met somebody.
Boyfriend?
It doesn't matter.
Kelly, maybe it does.
No. He has no connection with the hospital except that he knows me. Believe me, his name isn't important to you.
Why, then why not tell me? Why hasn't he been up here to see you? Why all the secrecy?
We said goodbye that night.
Did he bury you, too? That man hasn't even called.
He's married. It's over. It was over that night. And he just went back to his wife and his kids, that's all.
Kelly, I'm sorry.
You're sorry for me, and you're sorry for Arnold. What about those people that died in the fire? Are they just yesterday's ashes blown away? I'm no innocent bystander just shedding tears of sympathy. I was there. I was involved. They were my responsibility. They were my patients. And I am sick with that feeling. They're dead. And I can't dismiss them.
Now, that man McCabe, he wasn't the only victim. 2 other people died in that fire.
That's right. Stryker and Woodman.
What's this all about?
Mr. Bates, we'd like to borrow their files.
I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
We realize that, but we'd appreciate your help.
Yes. Here they are. Bernard Stryker and Anthony Woodman.
Thank you. How did they pay their bills?
The government took care of Stryker. He was on welfare.
What about Woodman?
Woodman, he had a business manager who paid his bills. He was quite well-to-do. Why the sudden interest in these men?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Bates. I've been so intent on trying to prove the fire was set for the insurance money that I overlooked the people who died in it. Question is, what if the fire wasn't set to burn down the building, but kill somebody in it? How much? Who's the beneficiary? All right, Duke, thanks. Thanks a lot.
I got that talking book you wanted. I know you're here. I can hear you breathing.
Vicky, one of the patients who died in the fire, Anthony Woodman, left an estate of $500,000.
To whom?
To the hospital. That means Bates, Arnold Zadok, and to a nephew, Zadok's friend Andy.
Andrew Woodman was discharged from the Marines 2 years ago. Since then, he's been in and out of work, mostly out.
Did he have any service time in demolition?
And no schooling in chemistry either.
What's he doing now?
He's living in a rooming house and working at a cleaning and dyeing plant.
Oh, wait a minute. Cleaning and dyeing? If I remember my high school chemistry, there's some kind of relationship between cleaning and dyeing and picric acid.
So Woodman could have had access to the base chemicals.
Go to the head of the class.
Where did he learn to make a bomb out of it?
Mr. Zadok?
Mr. Longstreet, do you have any idea why I have the feeling that I'm being watched?
Yes, because you are.
Oh. Well, thank you for telling me. It's easier to accept when I know it's real and not paranoia. Will they stay long with me?
No.
Good. Having lived so many years in Poland, it's like a Pavlov reflex. I'm watched, I perspire. The feeling is not comfortable.
Mr. Zadok, did you know that Andy's uncle left you part of his estate?
No. Well, the irony does not escape me. I wonder why he chose to remember me in that way.
Well, maybe it's because he liked your music. I'd like you to tell me everything you know about Andy Woodman.
Andy?
Did you ever discuss chemistry with him?
Never have I discussed incendiary devices with Andy or with anyone else. The boy's uncle died in this fire. Do you understand? The boy was devoted to the man. Every day would visit him. Every day.
Mr. Zadok, Andy is also a beneficiary.
Well, even so, I don't believe the boy could do what you suggest.
The police found a jar of picric acid in your room. If it doesn't belong to you, how did it get there?
Anything?
Well, he's not talking. I guess I can't blame him. He's only got one friend.
If that's what you call him. I struck gold at the public library, a textbook, chemical combustion. Andy Woodman took it out about 4 months ago. It was listed on his card like a sin on a blank page.
And that's the book Andy Woodman took out of the library 4 months ago.
It's circumstantial, Mike.
And you want to arrest Zadok on the very same evidence. Motive, opportunity, and the knowledge to make the incendiary.
And a jar of picric acid in his room.
Oh, come on, Ed. The kid had plenty of chance to plant it.
How am I going to prove he planted it? I'm giving you facts and you're giving me theories, Mike. On the evidence you've given me, would you hang Andy Woodman?
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't hang Arnold Zadok on the evidence you gave me.
That's not what I asked you.
No, I couldn't hang him.
24 hours isn't up.
You've got 6 hours.
We're going to remove the bandages tomorrow. I'm not going to give you roses, Kelly. It's not going to be pleasant. There's damaged tissue there. In time, we'll be able to do some plastic surgery to hide it.
That'll leave scars too, won't it?
You know that. Come in. Hello, Mr. Longstreet.
Oh, Doctor, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. I was just leaving. Now, I'll see you tomorrow morning. So long.
Well, from the sound of his voice, tomorrow morning's important.
They're taking my bandages off.
Are you afraid?
Yes. I am afraid. I'm afraid of what's underneath these bandages. I don't want to see the future. I don't want to face those ugly scars. And I'm leaning on you with your blind eyes that'll never see me beyond your fantasy. It's a nice fantasy. It's comfortable to know that you care.
I do care, Kelly. Kelly, I need some help. Your help. Commitment. I wouldn't ask you if there was any other way, but now there's some danger involved, so I want you to think about it before you answer. I know you've got enough problems of your own right now, so I'll understand if your answer is no.
Hello.
Andy, I need help. Andy, I need some money.
Who is this?
Kelly Brandon. Nurse Brandon, remember? I'm in the hospital, and I need some plastic surgery. I need some money.
This is some kind of a joke, right? I mean, I make $75 a week.
You're getting $100,000 from your uncle.
Hey, what is this?
I want $50,000, Andy.
You must be out of your mind.
I saw you put that porcelain jar in the closet. I want you to come to the hospital with part of the money tomorrow morning, or I'll call the police.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tomorrow morning, Andy.
Well?
I don't know. If he's as frightened as I am.
Well, if he has reason to be. All right, Kelly, 2 more.
Bateson's attic, right?
Right.
Drop the knife. Take him outside and read him his rights.
Kelly, you all right?
Yes.
Lieutenant, which one?
You were right, Mike. Andy. Thanks.
Thank you.
Miss Brandon, you're all right.
Thank you.
Are you all right, Kelly?
I'm fine.
Would you like to get out of this room for a little while?
Yes.
Okay, come on. You heard?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So am I. For many things. Mr. Longstreet, I'm told that it is you who has kept me from going to jail. Thank you. You have the faces of people who care too much. Don't worry about me. I have no time to carry injuries. My violin and me, we work it out. We have a dialogue, the two of us.
What are you thinking?
I'm listening to a dialogue. You?
I don't want you there when they take off my bandages. I want to use my own strength.
All right. You're all right, Miss Brandon. That's the first time I've seen you smile.